At the family dinner in Spokane, Mom asked, "Is the 10,000 I hid for you enough?" They all froze. I'm Jessica Harper, 32 years old, and I've spent my whole life as the family reject. My sister always got the spotlight designer bags at 16, while I got thrift store hand-me-downs that barely fit. Mom and Dad praised her every move but me. They acted like I didn't exist, whispering I was the mistake they never planned for. Last night I drove 3 hours back to Spokane for Nana's dinner, squeezing into a chair at the long table, my stomach twisting already. My sister sat across from me, smirking, as she swirled her wine glass, her new bracelet glinting under the light. "Nice outfit, Jess," she said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Still shopping the clearance rack." Mom chuckled, and Dad just looked away like always. I forced a smile, gripping my napkin tight, but inside, years of being the invisible one boiled up. Little did they know I had emails proving what they'd done with Nana's secret fund, $10,000 a month meant for me, stolen from my sister's casino debts. Right then, as plates passed around, Nana turned to me with that sharp look she gets. "Hey, if you've ever been the forgotten sibling in your family, drop a comment below. I read everyone. Hit subscribe so you don't miss how I turn the tables." Nana turned to me with that sharp look she gets. But before she could speak, my sister leaned in closer across the table, her voice dripping with fake concern. "So, Jess, how's that marketing gig treating you? Still pushing flyers for car dealerships in Spokane?" I swallowed hard, keeping my face steady, but my hands clenched under the table. "It's steady work," I said evenly. "Pays the bills, unlike some people's habits." My sister laughed sharp and loud, drawing eyes from my aunt down the table. "Oh, please. Steady Mom told me you're barely scraping by. Rent's late again, right? Must suck living paycheck to paycheck while the rest of us actually succeed." Mom jumped in quick, nodding along with a tight smile. "Honey, your sister's right. You could do better if you tried harder. Remember when she closed that big real estate deal last month? Dad and I took her out to celebrate steakhouse, the works." Dad grunted in agreement, not even glancing my way as he cut into his roast. "Yeah, Jess, maybe take some pointers from her. Networking, you know." My chest tightened, but I forced the words out, calm, controlled. "Networking's what got me promoted last quarter, Dad. Handled a campaign that doubled client leads. But sure, let's talk about success. Mine doesn't come with casino receipts attached." My sister slammed her fork down, face flushing red. "Excuse me, you think you know my life? At least I don't live like a broke college kid at 32, begging for overtime. God, Jess, grow up. No wonder you can't keep a man." Ethan's probably embarrassed. The table went quiet for a beat, then Mom sighed dramatically, reaching over to pat my sister's hand. Now, girls. Jess, she's just teasing. But seriously, when are you going to stabilize? We've helped you so much already, loans for that apartment, groceries when you were short. Your sister never asks." "Helped," I repeated, voice low but steady, my nails digging into my palm. "Those weren't loans, Mom. You promised to pay back the $3,000 I lent for her last emergency 2 years ago. Still waiting." Dad cleared his throat, shifting in his seat. "Water under the bridge, Jess. Family helps family. Your sister needed it more. She's got responsibilities, a career to build." My sister smirked again, leaning back with her wine. "Exactly. And speaking of, I just got a bonus 5 figures. Maybe I'll buy that new sedan I've been eyeing. What about you, Jess? Still riding the bus to work?" I stared at my plate, heart pounding but face blank, years of this crap flashing hot behind my eyes. The promotion I'd earned, they called it luck. The apartment I saved for too small. Every win twisted into failure, every struggle into my fault. But I kept it locked down, breath even. "Bus works fine," I said finally. "Saves gas money for things that matter." Mom shook her head, clicking her tongue. "See, that's the attitude holding you back. Your sister invests stocks, property. You should try it sometime instead of whatever you're doing." "Investing?" My sister cut in, eyes gleaming. "Last week I put $2,000 into crypto, already up 20%. Bet you wouldn't know how, just too busy with your little flyers. The words stung deep, but I didn't flinch, just nodded slow. Smart move. Hope it pays off better than your last investment at the blackjack table. She froze mid-sip glass, hovering, but recovered with a scoff. Jealous much keep dreaming loser. Some of us actually win. Dad chuckled awkwardly, trying to steer things. All right, enough. Pass the potatoes, will ya? I reached for the bowl, fingers steady, despite the burn in my throat, controlled rage simmering just under. They kept talking over me, my sister's bonus, mom's new recipe, dad's golf score, like I wasn't even there. But every word piled on, fueling that cold fire I'd been banking for years. Then, as the main course wrapped up, my sister turned to Mom with a casual shrug. Hey, speaking of money, how's that old account Nana set up? The one for emergencies. Mom's smile faltered just a second, but she waved it off. Fine, fine. All good. I stayed silent, watching the pieces clicking faster in my head. They had no idea I was one question away from blowing it all open. And Grandma delivered it right then. Her voice calm but piercing as she set down her glass. Jess, is the $10,000 I hid for you each month enough? You look like you could use more. The table stopped, dead forks, frozen wine glasses, mid-air, every face snapping to me, then Grandma. My sister's eyes widened a fraction, but she recovered fast with a forced laugh. 10,000, what, Grandma, you gotta be joking. Grandma didn't blink, turning straight to my mother. Not joking, Claire. The account I set up 7 years ago for Jess's emergencies, $10,000, deposited monthly direct from my trust. She hasn't mentioned it lately, so I assumed things were fine. Mom's face drained white, her hand trembling as she reached for her napkin. Mother, that's private, maybe not dinner talk. But Grandma leaned forward, eyes narrowing. Private? I've sent over $800,000 total. Jess deserves to know if it's helping. I felt the shock hit like ice water, but kept my voice, even pulling out my phone slow under the table. Grandma, what account exactly? I never saw a dime. Dad choked on his water, coughing hard. Jess, honey, it's complicated. Technical issues with the bank. My sister jumped in, voice pitching high. Yeah, totally. Glitches, you know how it is. Grandma probably mixed up the routing numbers. I tapped open my email app, heart slamming, but fingers steady, pulling up the chain I'd found last week. Bank alerts forwarded to Mom's address, every deposit marked for Victoria's support. $872,000 rerouted to offshore casino accounts in my sister's name. Technical issues, I said quietly, holding up the screen just enough for Grandma to see. Like these emails, Dad, $10,000 last month to the Bellagio, or this $120,000 for Mohegan Sun debts. Mom gasped, hand flying to her mouth. Jess, where did you... Got hacked into your inbox. I cut her off, voice turning cold as steel. Shoulda used two-factor, Mom. Saw everything how you and Dad signed the transfers, called it family obligation, while I worked doubles to cover rent. Grandma's face hardened, standing halfway out of her chair. Robert, explain. Now. Dad wiped sweat from his brow, stammering. It's not what it looks like. Your sister, she hit a rough patch. Gambling started in college, spiraled bad. We tried rehab twice, but the loan sharks, they threatened her life. My sister burst into tears, slamming the table. See, I'm sick, Jess. It's an addiction you can't judge. You don't know the pressure, the nights I couldn't sleep. Judging? I stood up, slow phone still in hand, scrolling to the latest alert, 10,000 wired yesterday. I'm stating facts. Grandma's fund was my safety net for starting my own agency. Instead, you blew it on roulette while I ate ramen for 2 years straight. Huh? Mom started crying too, reaching across. Jess, please, we meant to tell you. Your sister needed saving first. She's the eldest, the one who... Saved. My laugh came out bitter sharp. You enabled her, Mom. 800 grand down the drain, and now what, she's eyeing a sedan while I'm one car breakdown from walking. Grandma grabbed her phone, dialing fast. Enough. I'm calling my banker, freeze everything now. Dad lunged forward. Mother? No, we'll pay it back. We sold the cabin last month, got 60,000 to 60, our grandma snapped. Against 800 and Jess gets nothing. My sister sobbed louder, pointing at me. You're ruining my life. Selfish bitch, after all we've done. I met her eyes, cold fire, burning steady. Done, you mean stolen. Check this email, your signature on every transfer, sis. You're as guilty as them. The room spun silent again. Just Mom's sniffles and Grandma's call connecting. Yes, this is Victoria Harper, freeze account ending 40782 immediately. Full audit transfer balance to Jessica Lynn Harper's name. I pocketed my phone, breath, even the hurt, twisting into something harder, sharper revenge, locked and loaded. They stared, faces crumbling, but I felt the shift already, power flipping fast. Dad whispered, Jess, we can fix this. Family, Family, I repeated, flat, sitting back down. We'll see about that. Grandma hung up, nodding once. Done. Balance is 792,000 Jesses. Yours now. My sister's jaw dropped, tears drying instant. What? No, that's mine. I didn't answer, just watched them unravel, the cold plan clicking into place. Lawyer on speed dial, Ethan, waiting outside with his camera. They thought this was the end. It was just the start. They thought this was the end. But I stood up slowly, phone. Already dialing, Ethan, outside, my voice cutting through the sobs like a blade. Wrong, sis. This is where you lose everything. Boyfriend hit record live stream to my 5,000 followers now. My sister scrambled up chair, scraping back. Live what you can't delete that. Too late. Ethan's face popped on screen, nodding fast from the driveway. Rolling, babe. Facebook, Live, Instagram, TikTok synced. We're at 1,200 views already. Mom lunged across the table, grabbing my arm. Jess, stop, think of the family. I shook her off, holding the phone high so the camera caught every tear-streaked face. Family. Say hi to Spokane, everyone. This is my mother begging me to cover up 800 grand in theft. And that's my sister, the gambler, who signed every fraudulent transfer. Our dad bolted up, face purple. Turn it off, you'll destroy us. Already destroyed. I shot back, zooming on my sister's shaking hands. Viewers, meet the woman who rerouted Grandma's emergency fund to Vegas slots while I skipped meals. Smile for the algorithm, sis. She charged me nails out, but Grandma blocked her with a forearm. Sit down, Victoria, you've done enough. The live chat exploded. Holy crap, call the cops. She's a boss, views spiking to 3,000. My sister clawed at Grandma's arm. Get out of my way. She's lying. It's all lies. I stepped closer. Voice ice. Lies. Pull up your banking app, sis. Show them the 50,000 wire to DraftKings yesterday. Or should I airdrop the screenshot? Mom collapsed to her knees right there. Skirt pulling on the floor, hands clasped like prayer. Please, Jess. Mercy. We're your parents. We raised you. Raise me. I knelt to her, level camera, steady, the words dropping heavy. You stole my life, now I take yours. Views hit 6,000, comments flooding. Drag them, queen shit, dad yanked mom up, yelling over the chaos. This is blackmail. You'll regret. My phone buzzed, lawyer on line 2. I hit speaker volume max. Mark Drake here. Jessica confirmed full forensic audit launched, offshore accounts traced. Loud and clear, I said, grinning at Dad's horror. Freeze her assets, sue for fraud, civil and criminal. And that sedan, she wants repossess it tonight. My sister shrieked, grabbing a water glass and hurling it, missed me, shattered against the wall. You bitch, I'll kill you for this. Grandma snatched her wrist mid-swing. Touch her and you're out on the street. I've seen the statements, your name on every form. The live peaked at 9,000 donations, pinging in 200 and 500. Ethan texted bank just notified her cards declined midstream. I turned to the camera, breath even. Spokane, watch this, my sister, check your phone. She fumbled it out, face crumpling at the alert, account frozen. Fraud hold. No. My rent, my lights. Dad shoved past, Grandma, fists clenched. Enough? Turn it off, or I swear, old Sard. Or. What, Dad? I faced him square, unblinking. Hit me on live, go ahead, boost the views. He froze, hands dropping, then sank into his chair, head in palms. Mom crawled back to the table, sobbing into her napkin. We just wanted to save her. One last time. Save. My laugh echoed cold. You bankrupted yourselves for a black hole. My agency's launch fund gone. My down payment stolen. But tonight, it's payback. Lawyer Cutton again. Jessica, good news, court order granted. Full 792,000 transfers to you by morning. Their joint accounts garnished for restitution. My sister lunged again, but Ethan burst through the door phone, triple mounted. Back off, police en route. Loan Shark tip line flagged your name. She crumpled, sliding down the wall, makeup streaking black. It's over. Everything's gone. Views hit 12,000, chat on fire. Justice served. Subscribe to her mom reached for me one last time. Voice breaking. Forgive us, or please. I stepped back, ending the call to Mark. Forgiveness, earn it in court. Then to the camera, Spokane. That's how you handle betrayal. Link in bio for my agency first. 10 commenters get free consults. I tapped end stream, 15,000 views, 4,000 shares. Silence crashed in just my sister's whimpers and Mom's gasps. Ethan wrapped an arm around me, whispering, legend. Video's viral already. Grandma nodded, proud, squeezing my hand. Well done, Jess. They earned every second. Dad stared blank, whispering, what have you done? Fixed it, I said, flat pocketing my phone. Your mess, your cleanup. My sister looked up, eyes hollow. You'll burn for this. I met her gaze, colder than Spokane winter. Already burned your turn to freeze. Sirens wailed, distant closing fast. They scrambled, grabbing coats, but the door stayed shut. No running from this. Sirens wailed closer outside, and 2 officers stepped through the door just as my sister lunged for her purse. Too slow. They cuffed her wrist while she kicked. This is assault, get off me. One cop read her rights flat, then hauled her to the cruiser, her screams fading down the street. Next morning, my phone exploded with notifications. Ethan shaking me awake at 6 a.m. Screen glowing. Babe, check this, the video's at 2 million views overnight. Brands sliding into your DMs, agency offers pouring in. I sat up fast, scrolling the chaos. CNN picked it up. Spokane woman exposes family fraud live, plus interview requests from Fox Good Morning America. My sister's employer fired her by 9 a.m., posting a statement, zero tolerance for financial crimes. Her Instagram hacked by trolls, profile pic swapped to a slot machine. Dad called at 10, voice cracking over speaker. Jess, the bank seized everything, our savings, retirement. We're getting eviction papers today. Your mother, she hasn't stopped crying. I held the phone steady, Ethan rubbing my shoulder. Consequences, Dad. You chose her over me for years. He choked out, help us just alone till the appeal. We're family. No, I said, flat, hanging up, as Grandma's transfer hit $792,000 cleared. Family ended last night. By noon, my boss emailed promotion to director plus a $100,000 bonus for personal branding excellence. Ethan grinned, pulling me into the kitchen. That's not all. He dropped to one knee, holding up a diamond ring. Simple, perfect. Marry me, Jess. We build this together. Tears hit fast but happy ones, and I nodded, slipping it on. Hell yes, let's do it. 2 days later, A process server knocked restraining order against my sister plus foreclosure notice on their house. Mom left a voicemail slurring like she'd been drinking. You won. Happy now. We're sleeping in the sedan tonight. I deleted it without replying, focusing on the contract Ethan waived $500,000 startup loan for our joint agency, his tech skills, plus my marketing. We're millionaires by Christmas, he said, kissing me hard. My sister texted from jail, rot in hell. I'll sue you, bankrupt. I forwarded it to the lawyer, extra evidence for her fraud trial, 20-year sentence pending. Grandma called that evening, voice warm. Proud of you, Jess. Sold my stocks today, another $200,000 for your wedding fund. No strings. We drove to the courthouse next week, filing incorporation papers. Harper Cole Media LLC. First client, a national bank, ironic as hell, paying $50,000 up front. Views kept climbing, 3 million now sponsors, begging energy drinks, self-defense classes, even a book deal from Penguin. Dad showed up unannounced at my apartment that Friday, unshaven, reeking of cheap motel soap. Jess, please. Your sister's arraigned Monday needs bail money. We're broke. Ethan blocked the door, arms crossed. Leave, or we call security. Dad pleaded, dropping to his knees in the hallway. I raised you, have mercy. You raised a thief, I said from inside door clicking shut. His sobs echoed down the stairs, last I'd hear. Monday night news broke sister pled guilty, 10 years minimum. Their house auctioned for pennies, $60,000 total, barely covering court fees. Mom checked into rehab, funded by food stamps. Ethan and I celebrated at a quiet diner, toasting with milkshakes. From ramen to this, he said, clinking glasses. You flipped the script. 3 weeks later, our first office opened downtown Spokane, glass walls, 20 employees. I stood at the window, watching the city hum, phone, buzzing, with another 7-figure offer. My sister wrote from prison, I hate you forever. I burned the letter, smiling at Ethan across the desk. Good. Hate builds character. Mom sent one last text, forgive us someday. I blocked the number, clearing space for the life I'd earned. Their empire crumbled to dust mine rose, unbreakable. Betrayal taught me take what's yours, no apologies. And damn, it felt good. 6 months later, Ethan and I closed on our dream house overlooking the Spokane River. 4 bedrooms, home office suite, closing costs covered by my first TEDx speaking fee. Harper Cole Media hit 8 figures revenue, landing Nike as our flagship client. I keynoted at Marketing Week in Vegas, standing ovation from 2,000 pros. From ramen to boardrooms, I told them. Betrayal was my best teacher. My sister rotted in minimum security license plates, for license plates irony thick. Last month she wrote again, parole hearing soon. Testify for me, I shredded it, forwarding to the DA. No mercy for thieves. Dad landed a night shift at the auto plant, back bent, hands black with grease. Mom bounced between halfway houses, waitressing for tips. Their Christmas card arrived last week, generic Hallmark, no return address. Thinking of you always. I tossed it in the recycling, no reply. Grandma visited Sunday, handing over the keys to her old convertible, cherry red Mustang fully restored. Drive it like you stole it, she winked. You earned the speed. Ethan proposed filming a sequel video 1 year later, and it racked 5 million views in 48 hours. Brands tripled offers, skincare line memoir advance, from HarperCollins, even a Netflix true crime pitch. Your story's gold, my agent said. Relatable revenge sells. But the calls kept coming, cousins, old friends, even my sister's ex-boss. Jess, your parents hit rock bottom. Dad's on oxygen now, emphysema from the factory fumes. Can you spare $5,000 for his meds? I paused the Nike pitch meeting phone on speaker. Tell him congrats, he finally works harder than I did at 32. No cash, no contact. Ethan squeezed my hand across the conference table. Cold, but right. Grandma called that night, voice steady. Heard about your father. You holding up. Never better, I said. Closed a deal today that funds 10 scholarships for kids from broken homes. Real change, not handouts. She laughed soft. That's my girl. Skip the pity, build the legacy. Our wedding's next spring. Intimate lakeside 200 guests. No family invite list. Boyfriend's now fiancé grinned over dinner, toasting with champagne. From dinner table disaster to this, you're unstoppable. Damn right, I clinked back. They broke me first. Now watch me rebuild bigger. Here's the lesson I learned, and I'm telling you straight. Betrayal destroys families, but it forges warriors. Blood doesn't mean loyalty, actions do. If your mother steals your future, your sister gambles it away, your father enables the mess, cut them clean. Choose yourself every time because no one else will. Build your empire on their ruins. Protect your peace like it's your last dollar. I've got the house, the ring, the millions to prove it works. You can too. Start today. Thanks for listening to my story, Spokane to the world. It means everything that you stuck with me through every twist. If betrayal hit your family hard, drop your story in the comments below. I read every single one and reply. Hit that subscribe button. Now turn on notifications so you catch my next chapter. Wedding vlog drops Friday. Let's build unstoppable lives together. You've got this.